Hello, welcome to Comfortable Shoes Studio. I'm Leslie, and this is another episode of Art Making. In this episode, I am practicing my people figures, if you will, for en plein air, sketching, urban sketching, and all of that fun stuff. So I'm gonna start out by putting in a horizon line. I'm gonna go relatively high with it. So horizon line is just, where off to the distance you really can't see much anymore. And I'm going to put some little lines here, kind of give me an idea of height. All right. So any figures back here would just be a blob. So I'm using my beam paints. It's the CMYK set, and I'm just using whatever I got here. I'm gonna add a little more water to these. Just adding a quick little drop of water and pull a little more blue out. And a little magenta. Want to work in purple for some of this, I guess. And blue, I'm finding, is quite opaque. So just working loose. So I'm doing these little figures. I think I'm going to start in the front and then work back this time, or attempt to. So I'm going to do a small head, little oval shape, and then pull that down into a torso, and then legs, and then we'll bump out a little arm there. So it's figure moving away from us. All right, and do the slightly shorter person. Torso, legs, just let these kind of merge together. Put some more of that magenta in here. A little bit of a shadow coming from these figures. All right. Let's do another figure sort of on or a, let's do a figure on a similar plane. The whole purpose of practicing these figures is so that when I am out urban sketching, I can just capture figures in the scene quickly. Put a little bit of magenta in there. Again, do a little bit of a shadow. And then slightly larger. I think the thing to remember with any of these is that it is simplified figure. And really, the thing that I've learned about figure drawing is our brains really fill in the rest of the information. Just slightly larger figure here off to the side. All right, so there's my foreground images or figures, rather. You can't see this one, this shadow. All right, so that's kind of cool. I think I'm gonna hit that with the dryer. And I'll start doing another layer further back. All right, so I think I'm going to continue with the blue and magenta. So the thing to remember is that this next row has to be a little smaller. I'm not sure I really like that. Put another even smaller little figure up here. So they get less and less detailed the further away they are. Until I think you just eventually end up with little rectangles off in the distance. It might have a little variation. I think these are a little too dark. I'm still getting accustomed to this beam paint. It's very intense and re-wets really nicely. I think I want these characters a little further off in the distance to be paler. I'll lift that. I could be doing that with a paper towel. I'm just going to use this brush. I'm wetting it down. And then coming back in with it dry, which is making a little bit of a mess. That's all right. Okay. So I think I like this sort of crowd scene more than what I was doing yesterday, which was like this sort of blobby. In this one, I didn't have enough, I think, variation in the characters or images. So yeah, I like this one more. And this feels like they're walking into the distance. And I could make these figures go the whole way across up here. I think the key really is like making sure there's a variety of shapes and then making sure that you vary the height. And of course, you got to give that indication of shadow. So even the figures up here are grounded. Yeah, see, I think I could. We're almost looking at this, figure from the side. The brain just sort of fills it in. Kind of the cool thing with sketching is that the brain will just fill in the details for us. All right, so I want to switch up materials. I'm going to put this away for now. Get another sheet of paper. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add your horizon line, a vanishing point, and give myself some guidelines here. And I'm going to use these. I think the ones furthest in the distance, I'm going to start from the back and then work my way forward. So this paint marker is, I've been using it quite a bit urban sketching, and the tip of it has been frozen as I wait for the train, and it is no longer performing all that well. All right, so got a little trio of people in the pale purple. I kind of want these to recede, so I'm going to do pale blue Start here, and these are going to be slightly larger. I realize I haven't done any um, shadows on these figures. These are about the same height, actually. These are a little taller. So yeah, these tips are getting pretty worn here, but I kind of like how they are kind of, you know, you can't predict what they're going to do. All right, so I'm going to use the green. Probably should have gone with the purple and then green instead of. I think the green is pretty pale. Yeah. Well, I don't use the green as much, so it's actually in substantially better shape tip-wise. Those bring these figures quite a bit larger. Even though these are not my favorite paint markers, I think they're doing a good job for this. These are all pretty like standard. I've got some leg movement here, but all right. Yeah, definitely should have gone with the purple, green, and then blue. So let's do hot pink next. I'm going to be even larger. So I think this is a good exercise for figuring out figures and how you can adjust size um, and just simplify them and how much, you know, your brain is just going to fill in the details for you. So I think in terms of shadows, I'm going to use this.